There's nothing quite like building your own home, taking an empty slate, an empty plot of land, and building atop it, making an abode of your own. Empty halls to start, then decorations, and finally you can choose your own rooms, deciding where and what goes in each place. An alchemy lab here, a kitchen there, a master bedroom for you to sleep in, a smithy to repair your gear, a dungeon to throw your enemies into, a dining room to feast with your friends. Each room is yours to construct, yours to choose. For today's Mod of the Day, we're showcasing Hearthfire Morrowind by Solo Eater, a customizable player home where you're the architect of your dream residence. Right, so I need to take the unusual step of making just a couple of disclaimers before we actually begin our showcase. This mod is still a work in progress. The mod author is still actively working on it, with the intent of adding more features, more options, and even potentially additional architectural styles in the future. What you'll see here isn't necessarily representative of what the final mod will look like. The second is that, while this is an intriguing mod, which does, for the most part, work, I do need to urge a bit of caution before using it. The mod file is incredibly dirty, and will need to be cleaned before playing. And just running it through TS3 command won't necessarily do the trick. Some dirty edits will still remain, and it will have to be cleaned out manually. And now, I don't want to discourage people from playing Hearthfire. Quite the opposite, I'm showcasing it because it has a lot of potential. But you do need to go into this one with just a bit more caution than the typical mods we showcase. As a note, you'll find links to cleaning tutorials just right down below. And I've also made a note of the specific dirty references that won't automatically be cleaned by TS3 command. So, if you have experience with manually cleaning mods, you can use that as a guide. Anyway, with that said, let's begin with our actual showcase. And as you might imagine, this mod is heavily inspired by the Hearthfire Skyrim DLC. And it begins by purchasing your very own island from an agent at the Imperial Commission in Ebonheart. A purchase that'll set you back about 15,000 gold. This island is located west of Telbranora, and a bit north of the mainland. And yes, obviously this mod is compatible with Terry build. The island itself is a decent sized chunk of terrain in the style of the Azura's coast, with a large flat area set against a rocky hillside. This is where you'll be able to build your own manor, and you can click on the notice board here to begin construction. Note that currently the only supported style is the Halalu style. More options, might be available in the future. After 10 in-game days, a construction on your new manor will be complete, but it won't really have anything just yet. Going inside, you'll find an empty main hall, with stairs leading to a small unfinished basement, and an upper, also unfinished level, with no furnishings to speak of. And this is where you'll get to the meat of your choices. For right inside, you'll find a construction table, which you can use to customize and expand your manor. And there are a lot of options here. Roughly speaking, you can choose from 24 different rune types to add to your manor, in addition to decorations and furnishings for the main hall. And in total, you have 8 room slots that you can fill. Which means that at most, you can only have 1/3 of the different rune types available, and you get to choose which rune goes where. You can go for the practical, a Smithy, an Alchemy Lab, an Arcanium, a Summoning Room, an Enchanting Lab, a Shrine, and maybe just the 1 bedroom, because, you do need to sleep. Or you can go for a kitchen, a dining room, guard quarters with guards to patrol the manor, a vault chamber, a trophy hall, a library, and guest bedrooms. Or you can add a tomb, or a dungeon to throw your enemies into, or a Dwemer research lab, or a training room, or so on and so forth. You have 4 room slots off the main hall, 2 more above, and 2 more in the cellar. And you can place these rooms just wherever you like. For the most part, they are minimally furnished, functional without being overly decorated. And if you'd rather just have some empty space that you can use with a furniture mod, you can also add just empty rooms instead. Quite a few of these rooms have additional scripted features. Like the Enchanting Lab has a table for enchanting. Obviously, the Arcanium has an altar of spellmaking. And of course, the Alchemy Lab has a scripted alchemy set, just for convenience. As well as a planter that you can use to grow various ingredients. In the Smithy, you can craft various weapons and armor, specifically ebony, glass, and adamantium. Though obviously, you will need to have those crafting materials just on hand in order to craft them. And also a pretty high armor skill. Not just anyone can craft a blade out of ebony. You can also use the grinding wheel just to repair weapons and armor, and you can find that over here in the corner. With the training room, you can request a trainer in a particular attribute and skill, and they'll arrive temporarily for 1 day to train you. In the kitchen, you can grill a variety of meals, cook a variety of stews, bake a number of recipes, and even ferment some brews. All of which is done through the mod scripting. And, I don't think this supports Ashfall or Necessities of Morrowind. But still, it's a pretty neat feature. In the summoning room, you can choose what kind of summoning chamber to build. One to summon Daedra, one to summon the 6th house, one to summon Atronox, and one to summon nature. And again, there's more scripted features here, with the ability to summon various creatures just depending on captured souls and soul gems and, a few other requirements. And these summoned creatures basically act as companions, which you can command to follow you, or stay in place, or patrol a certain area. And with the Dwemer Research Chamber, you can even build your own Dwemer Centurion companions, provided of course that you bring in a ton of materials. Yes, you're going to need just lots of scrap metal, and even those extremely heavy Dwemer cogs, so better get collecting. There's also a smithy here, which will allow you to craft various Dwemer items, and even create Dwemer Power Armor, which is a powerful armor set that you can use on your adventures. And as a note, these Dwemer companions that you can craft are, again, companions. You can command them to fall alongside you, fight for you, guard an area, or patrol a spot. There's a shrine room that you can use to dedicate to one of the numerous deities of Tamriel, be they the 9 Divines, the Tribunal, the Daedra, or even the 6th House. A tomb that you can craft in a variety of styles, or maybe just use for a bit of necromancy. A storage hall that you can customize with different containers, a pantry for ingredient storage, even a terrace that you can add onto the manor proper, all of which will cost quite a bit of dosh. A fully furnished and equipped manor could run into the tens of thousands of gold septims. So this is one player home that you'll need to save up quite a bit for. But outside of Pimp My Shrine, there's not really a whole lot of mods like this out there. And while it does have a few minor bugs, a lot of dirty references, and could maybe, definitely use a bit more polish, it's honestly just a really impressive creation. I mean, all of this was done in vanilla Morrowind script. No MWC, no OpenMW, nothing. And it could not have been easy building a mod like this with the game's admittedly cumbersome scripting language. And there is so much potential here, with lots of future features that the author has planned. It's a really neat mod that's already jam-packed with options and choices. And if you're looking for that Hearthfire experience in Morrowind, it is without a doubt worth taking a look at. Provided, of course, that you clean the mod first. But Anyway, that's just, that's just from the day. So, as always, I've been your host, our Golf Guy. Thanks for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, happy modding, and I'll see you all next time.